August 2021, TikTok caught up to Steve Lacy's demo track Dark Red 4 years after its release. Today, it has over 9 million listens on Spotify. However, that was but a prelude for the viral hit that arrived a year later. July 2022, Steve Lacy released his new album Gemini Rights, and social media was right on his heels. His song Bad Habits started to gain traction almost immediately. The youngsters team had amassed some experience from the previous rodeo, so they were ready. They decided to get ahead of the curve and release a sped up version of the song to attract the most significant demographic, the TikTok youth, of course. What happened next could have not been predicted, but let's just say Steve Lacy was catching on to the internet.
I'm gonna show you how I make music on my phone. I'll show you a little bit of the process.
These days, the internet works in mysterious ways. Nobody understands that better than a young R&B singer, guitarist, and producer, Stephen Lacy, who featured in a band to be called just that, the internet. While his contemporaries were toiling away in high school, he was quietly producing beats on the side and jamming with his band. He would have been a superstar to his schoolmates if only they understood the vogue of underground R&B. But Lacy has never been that guy. In an interview with Acclaim Mag, he said,
I wasn't like a celebrity kid in my high school. It was really, I was super regular. My high school experience, I felt like Hannah Montana. I felt like I was living in LA.
It makes sense to talk about his earlier creative years since he's still inside his 20s. But while most pop stars are groomed, no pun intended, from an earlier age, Lacy has always been a diligent and prolific producer. He did not have a personality of a pop star with a broad appeal. He was too specific and too cool for that. So when TikTok instantly raised him into superstardom, things began unraveling. But before we get to that, we have to understand not only how Lacy branded himself before this said event, but also how he approached the world of music. When he started making music with the internet in his teens, he liked being that guy in the back. He claims,
because I still make beats for different producers and stuff like that, because I'm a musician at heart. Like back in the day, I remember I used to walk around. I would just be like this young kid, just really shy, really quiet. I come with like a backpack with my laptop in it and like a guitar and bass in my hand.
He made 2 albums with the group Ego Death in 2015 and Hive Mind in 2018.
Steve Lacy, who are your top 3 most influential on your sound producers?
Mac DeMarco, of course.
Oh yeah, shout out to Hoes, man.
Thundercat.
Wait, you listen to Thundercat too?
Prince.
Yeah. You listen to Prince?
He became more comfortable with the spotlight, began writing his own lyrics, and started singing. After releasing a short EP called Steve Lacy's Demo Tape in 2017, he tried his hand in solo work, no pun intended. His coming out party arrived in 2019 in the form of his debut album. But given his workaholic spirit, he was not content with just sitting around. While working with the internet on his solo albums, he collaborated with different artists including Weeknd, J. Cole, Solange, Kendrick Thundercat, and Dirty Projectors, and Mac Miller. An interesting thing about his music is that he does most of his work on his iPhone, a habit that does not put off his collaborators, showing just how much they value his contributions. His inspirations range from Jimi Hendrix to Weezus and Paramore, but his distinctly neo-soul rhythms often remind people of the nostalgic R&B of the late 80s and 90s. Even in his varied collaborations, that lo-fi groove comes through in a fresh, almost in a palatable fashion. Given his laid-back vibe, his music comes off as a true reflection of himself. But there's another aspect of his personality that is particularly intriguing: his controversial preferences. To be fair, voicing preferences is not an issue, but he often does it in a way that invites controversy. It's been a go-to social media strategy. Lacy may have not amassed the crowd at every show before his breakout hits on TikTok, but he still managed to piss off just enough people to maintain a low strata of fame. All of that changed when Bad Habit blew up on TikTok. An artist who had thrived on his easygoing persona and edgy take was not forced to be in the spotlight. And while he managed to quell his stage fright, he never quite got out the newfound presence and popularity. How could someone who maintained a small, loyal fan base cope with the burden of expectations and the mild indifference of a gigantic crowd? He went on a spree, stopping shows due to disturbances and walking out of performances midway. The brand he had cultivated was no more, but his small following molded his existing works to appease the younger, less attentive people of the new age, both Twitter and Instagram. One should note that his following may have not been multiplied by thousands, but the fan base closely monitoring his every project is still quite limited. The moral would be to never lose sight of your personal brand. People like original personalities, given the right person they will vibe with. You have to realize what you prefer and what you attract. If a smaller, more compact audience is more suited to your needs, then don't get greedy. Lacy's breakthrough could turn out to be a blessing in disguise, a win-win since he attracts a large crowd but can also relish his more in-the-know audience on the side. Whether he can find a suitable medium to engage them sincerely and honestly like he used to is yet to be seen. If you like our content, don't forget to leave a like down below. For more videos about branding and capturing the digital space, subscribe to our channel. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.